less.
But I feel like we should I was gonna say we should probably open it with the smaller stuff first, and
Oh, that's
tease
true. Yeah,
SmashCon.
SmashCon is definitely the main event here today for
yeah.
obvious reasons. But we're also going to be talking about a lot of the things that went on this weekend locally. So that includes everything in New Jersey, from Spectrum. There was a PSS monthly, and then even outside of New Jersey, there's Bears every Friday, and then Xeno every Wednesday. And some stuff happened this week, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, a little bit interesting stuff. As Chris mentioned, we had the PSS number 9 happened on Saturday, and of course that being when everyone, well, not everyone, but a lot of people were at SmashCon.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of people at SmashCon. So I mean, attendance and stuff like that definitely not there. And it's crazy to see the tournament in Virginia actually really affect everyone. SmashCon, everyone was sort of at, but nonetheless, people could still fiend in locally to get some games in.
Yeah, definitely. No, but yeah, PSS 9 had 21 entrants.
It was 21 entrants. It was a quiet day, but we did have number 10 and number 11 on the current PR, which would be Dark Matter and Law, respectively, the top seeds of this event.
Looking at the bracket, it had the names that you would see outside of right outside the PR that we talked about last week, like Maverick Hunter, Delta, Badges.
Yeah, the guys that I would say we're kind of close to making the PR, or maybe in the middle and looking for a better placing. It was pretty clear that they wanted to get another event in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest with you, even for the last season of Smash 4, it was kind of nice to see people motivated to come and play, even if it was a small turnout.
Yeah, definitely. But sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it's kind of cool to see these smaller tournaments that are the same weekends as nationals, because it's a good chance for the guys you don't get to hear about very often, kind of see how they play when the big boys are away. So I guess the big notable one would be Steve coming through and stealing some gas money.
But yeah, so Corona.
Yeah, I think pretty sure Corona is retired or something.
Well, before we talk about that, I'm just gonna run down the results for it, so it's known. But
go for it.
I wanted, through winners, only dropping. Oh, actually, he went to Game 5 with Lemon Tea. But then Corona 17, aka Steve, got second. Then Dark Matter got third. Lemon Tea with the fourth. And then Maverick Hunter and Delta at fifth. Then we got Mo Larson and Ari Badges at seventh. So, yeah.
Yeah, shout outs.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say shout outs to, I know Badges was very open about not being a fan of the week. But, good on him for, actually showing up and putting in some Gorkas, as it looks like, looking at the bracket.
Well, he's usually pretty consistent. He's always in the conversation in terms of results and everything else. And I know he did have a little bit of an issue with the PR in terms of how it was calculated. He did want to see the weeklies get counted more. But these monthlies, especially moving forward, it's just a little bit better opportunity to essentially have people not farm off one another, because they draw in crowds that are a little bit outside of their usual, location.
Definitely.
Exactly.
Shout out to Corona with this Sheik Mario Bowser combo. I swore he's been a Diddy main since this game began, but what do I know?
I'm trying to remember. I don't think I saw Diddy once, unless maybe I'm having.
I'm not surprised I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't go Diddy.
I'm just trying to think.
Moose was a Diddy main. Corona has since.
Corona's evolved.
Yeah.
To a counter picker.
But I'll tell you, man, he's you can really tell the guy plays a lot of other fighting games. He definitely he just gets fundamentals. He was using quite a bit of Mario and doing well.
What did he go Mario on?
I'm looking right now. It looks like he went Mario against Law. And who else did he go Mario against?
And he lost in winners quarters. Because to Law, actually, he got double eliminated by him, but he had to run through losers, beating Hayes, Badges, Delta, Lemon Tea, and Dark Matter.
Nice.
Yeah, so you guys will see in a sec. I know you have a small delay, but yeah, you'll see Corona's purple Mario taking on Law Sheik, and I didn't realize. Yeah, I guess he did get the run back in Grands, but did not win it.
But yeah, that's the thing with Corona that people don't really talk about. Like we mentioned, he doesn't really compete Smash 4 much. He is more like other fighting games like Tekken, Dragon Ball, whatever it may be. Some Street Fighter. He's a big fighting game guy, but nonetheless, he definitely has the skill in Smash, and he showed it. He showed it at Platinum Star and at plenty of other events in the past.
So let's see who else was on here. Then let me just get those results back up here.
Yeah, again, it's just a lot of the people you'd usually see that would usually place lower because they'd get kept by somebody else in front of them. But when everybody's out playing and spending dad's money, playing Super Smash Brothers in Virginia.
I gotta say, man, as I look through the results right now, you also see Delta at 5th. I believe he got 4th the last Platinum Star. And yes. I can't recall what he got at the Arcadian, but something pretty good. I think he is.
I think he got 5th or 7th, but nonetheless, Delta, similar to Badges, is definitely one of those still like consistent players.
Dude, he's really consistent. I said this all stream as I was sort of like pseudo tricasting. I can't recall a Platinum Star that he's been at where he hasn't been in the top 8.
Yeah,
despite who's there.
Many tournaments, like in general, like last night we had at Spectrum there was 35 entrants, and he got 4th behind me, Gonzalez, and James.
So what? I guess is he a case of he doesn't lose to the people he's better than, but just can't quite clutch a victory against?
There are times he will like take a couple. I mean, obviously he will take a couple losses at times to the people below him, and like he has like beaten, like he's taken a set off me before. He took a set off of Law actually yesterday,
and but, me. I'm kind of good.
and Mr. Koopa.
Yeah, that's right.
I think our biggest thing is that he usually does well, but never all at the same time. Like, it's in bits and pieces and seasons, or like, oh, this is good here, now it's good here. But if you do them both together at the same time, you might have been ranked. But
like it's instead of like some of our other players where you'll see like big runs from them. And then, like, other tournaments, like, they may have, like, the iffy tournaments. Delta is one of the players, like, just consistently, like, in the middle. Like you said, like, only so few times I've seen him not make, like, top 8 at these, like, local / monthlies.
There was one PSS where I think he, like, bottomed out and went, like, 2-2 or whatever. But, but like, these monthlies are usually pretty, like, bloodbathy because obviously it's the time of the month where everyone gets together. I don't know if you guys have realized this, but I think we've been doing Platinum Stars for like well over a year now.
Well, it's the 9th Platinum Star, and then there's been a couple events in between. Like there was a Platinum Star party. There was a
and one Platinum Star Arcadian.
Yeah, so figure we'd be at about a year. We got the venue, I believe it was last summer. I can't remember what month we started, but about a year ago.
I feel like it was like August or September. I think it was September.
It's kind of funny. I don't know if anyone's watched the on Xenos on the House of 3000 YouTube channel. They have a kind of like a trailer for their channel, similar to the MHG channel, where it's them talking about where they started, and it's like eerily similar. Oh,
that was nice. Jesus Christ!
Like the starting points of MHG and House of 3000. Essentially, they caught Xeno when it was a brand new venue. Like just opening, like they met the guy like a couple weeks before opening, which is exactly what happened to Platinum Star. It turns out both venue owners are named Jack. Like it was just like I was like, what is this? What is this weird mirror?
Jeez.
But in either way, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say they both just happen to be card shops, also.
Yeah, it was some pretty funny synchronicity to say the least.
Yeah, there's Chinese food within walking distance. It's basically just except you can park.
Yeah.
Xeno has parking. It's like actually getting able to get there and then parking is a problem.
Yeah. I don't have to pay $21 in one afternoon to park at the Platinum Star, but nonetheless.
Oh, does Delta lose this game, yo?
Yeah, I think.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I just turned it off on you guys, but yeah, he does lose the game. He does in fact lose the game.
Yeah. I was gonna say, shout out to Dark Matter for at least for also showing up, because it's kind of hard for those, like, in my opinion, like those lower like top 10 seeds, because that's kind of usually your upset part of the PR. Like on any given day, those guys can beat anybody, but also lose to anybody if they're not careful.
You know what, man? He played really, really well, and I know,
agreed.
and like I'm actually a kind of big DM advocate here, and it's mostly because I think I respect the hustle of being like a full-time teacher and coming and still like beating people and stuff. Like I think it's cool, but in either case, he came in. I'm pretty sure he was feeling pretty good. He kind of thought he would. I think he was thinking he might win, and then Law kind of took the win from his sails. But kind of funny, we did do a crew battle earlier in that day. It was ironically Team Law and Team Dark Matter. I don't know if I'm gonna put that on right now. It was pretty.
Sorry, I had to step away for a sec. What am
I? Just the crew battle. Oh man, this was a slobber knocker. You'll be seeing Crownless and M&I coming on. But
oh boy.
It was pretty fun, man. I think all it was really missing was some Ratchet commentary. It was mostly just me and Gump, but it had all the other things though. It ended up being like a really close battle. I'm trying to think. Hold on.
I'm pretty sure Law's crew won with like.
Law's crew won, and it ended up towards the end getting really. It came down to the last players. Like it was DM versus Law in the last bit of it, but.
Oh boy.
Yeah, right. It was like actually like a close battle.
Mm-hmm.
We got to see some Duck Nut.
Well, what's the difference?
Duck Nut. Yeah, we got to see King X's Duck Nut, and then we got to see Larson's Bayo, unfortunately, but it's okay. it was okay.
Oh, I think it was close to here. I guess Larson took a couple stocks from Dark Matter, which helped because I'm pretty sure at the end it was lost 3 to Dark
That's
Matter.
exactly what happened. Yeah, so I believe Larson basically. Team Law was down 3 stocks. He ended up, I forget who he cheesed. I could go back and watch, but then he ended up having a really close game with King X.
Yeah.
But I guess we can kind of move on from there. That was last Saturday. The cool part about everyone traveling and people not being around is you'll see, I believe, actually it was Law traveling around everywhere. He also went to Bears on Friday. Took a small crew in New Jersey with him. Trying to get that now.
But while you're pulling up that, just real quick, I'm going to throw in that, speaking of also traveling, Dark Matter went to...
Yeah, he did. He was at
Kingdom.
Oh, he went to Kingdom.
Yeah,
yes, he did.
He was at Kingdom. It had 14 entrants, and first place was Unknown, Ryan.
You guys have a link to that bracket by chance?
Yeah, I'll post it in the
All right, cool,
chat.
Yeah.
Dark Matter just be losing to Sheep then. Damn.
But yeah, Dark Matter got second to Unknown, and then
he lost him twice, right?
Yeah, he lost him twice. It was Game 5 in winners finals, and then Game 4 in grands. Okay. But and then Wraith got third.
And then I saw JT Prague is fourth, who is kind of a name I see pop up in North Jersey, and I know I've seen him in the big MHG chat. Is he an Ike name? Cloud, yeah.
He's mostly Cloud.
Okay.
He used to be an Ike main, and he's like, everybody plays Sheik here, so I'm just gonna play Cloud instead.
He's like, wow, this character's really bad. I guess I'll just play one that isn't.
Yeah, he said, you guys forced me off of you guys are jerks.
But
yeah, we're bullies. we don't mess with that stuff. But again, I want to give a shout out to Sheldon and Godfident and the Kingdom series. Steadily putting together really good good streams and stuff.
Does a great job. I notice his uploads go up really fast. It's very clear as to what matches are which. Sometimes that isn't always the case with a local stream, and it happens weekly. So we'll be advertising that more. I actually did not have time to make more advertisements today, unfortunately, but you better believe I'll have that fixed for next week.
Definitely.
So yeah, that's Kingdom, and yeah, you're right. I did not know Dark Matter went to that because he was also at We Bear Bears apparently, where Law went. Yeah, he was everywhere last week, and I'm trying to see who else from New Jersey ended up making a trip there.
Law was there?
Yeah, Law was at Bears. He got third, losing to Enzo in losers finals, Blazing Pasta in winners finals.
Oh yeah, Pasta won. Enzo got second. But Enzo is that name in that area you haven't heard much from, except when he won the Arcadian recently. But he's a really good villager / Sonic, I believe. Mainly villager from what I know.
Yeah, I remember the first time I heard of him was back at only 90s kids will remember this, but the Smash with Bay series from a couple of years ago. that's like was one of like the big staple like monthly series in Pennsylvania that kind of got a lot of crossover between everybody. And I remember it was around the time where Camelange was still competing, and like he was pretty steadily like getting top 3 and top 4 at those events. And he took a set off of him, and it was like at the time it was a really big deal. But good to see that he's still like maintained consistency.
Definitely.
PA is a weird region, man. Like, there's so many good players, but like they just don't get the opportunity to like go out much outside of their own backyards.
Yeah, a good amount of them actually went to. We're at a SmashCon.
Well,
only a handful of them were.
Yeah.
The tricky part with PA is they mostly have bears, and then, well, I should say Philly. They mostly have bears, and then I'm not really sure. I know there's some other stuff going on in Pennsylvania. I'm not sure where it is like locationally, but some of those guys used to actually come to New Jersey tournaments, but there really hasn't been a lot going on in South New Jersey. Although there is a new weekly there. I'm not sure how much longer it's going to last, but it is called Pop the Bubble. You could find that in our Discord.
Yeah, I've seen about that. Yeah, actually, the first one actually Gons went to. There was like 16 to 18 entrants, something like that. And him and LS had a game 5 set to like super last hit set. And Gons ended up taking it like, I'm pretty sure with a backfill, of course, but they were both. It was like they were both like a graph from death. They were both like 150+%. It was, and they were both like just like running around in neutral for like over a minute as well. But yeah,
I mean that's Philly, and those guys actually are pretty good at traveling. I've noticed they're getting better, I should say.
For
they're
sure.
definitely getting better. I know they've gone to some New York stuff, and which we could actually shift to now because. If I'm not mistaken, someone had their first Xeno win this past week.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Someone had their first Xeno win, and that someone was
Odyssey.
T2 Odyssey, which
Yes.
may have been a long time coming now because I believe, I'm just trying to think, my reference point for Odyssey is, I mean, I know he's always in the discussion and always placing well at Xenos, but even Collision, what was he? Was he 5th place?
Yeah,
Fourth place.
Fourth.
Yeah, after losing like in winter semis of his pool to Blazing Pasta, he won like 11 straight sets in a row to get fourth.
Yeah, he beat Angel, he beat Gauntz, he beat Dark Wizzy,
Kool-Aid,
Dark Wizzy.
Yeah, that's actually like a pretty. That's impressive, man. That's a lot of names.
He's definitely one of the along with like names like Jackal and Ralphie in those names of the most like rising like players in the region.
Yeah, when the Japanese came over, I know he took a set off of Komarikiri.
Oh yeah, and that was like a body too. It wasn't even like.
Yeah, game 2 was like 10 seconds. It was horrible.
But nonetheless, he won his first taking 2 sets off Ralphie actually.
Which is impressive because Ralphie just he's coming off of like a 9th place at SmashCon, is he not? Was that Ralphie? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get there, but
Odyssey, there have been plenty of times where he's gotten 2nd and 3rd like multiple times, and you could just tell he really wanted to win, and he got it. So shout outs to him.
Just what this region needs, more Fox mains.
I think everyone around the world is playing Fox now. He's easily the 3rd most popular character. Like after Cloud and Bale.
I don't get it.
And the 3rd best character as well.
The funny thing.
How can you be the 3rd most popular character, but all 4 of your games have been remakes of the same game from 1990 something?
It's true, man.
Like, come on, man. What's going on?
I'm also taking a look at these Xeno results in whole, and of course we see our boy Angel Cortez coming in 4th place. I think we were just talking about this last week.
Yeah, he won last week. Now he got 4th this week.
Yeah.
He
lost to Ralphie and Mystery.
Yeah, it looks like, yep.
Yeah, Mystery taking 3rd. Double eliminated by Ralphie, actually.
Damn, yeah, he lost in, looks like winners quarters and...
It was semis and winners semis and losers finals.
Looks like winners quarters
God's
here.
name is that 7th place tag right there. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
was that
hold
Bars
up.
that got 7th place?
Let me check that out.
Oh yeah, Bars. Yes, the revival of Henny. The revival of Henny T.
Yeah, I know it's like
he actually beat Dill and Raptor. Dang.
Nice. Yeah, because I know it's like a recurring gag in the Xeno brackets where like Bars always has like a different moniker every time he enters.
Means the journey.
Yeah.
Hey man, I mean, gotta have fun somewhere.
That.
The guy's playing Pit.
One of my favorite ones. My favorite one was Edge the Guard.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Fire the Hazard.
Yeah, Fire the Hazard.
That was a good one.
But yeah, Xeno, I would say, the biggest weekly in the tri-state area easily.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
But like definitely one of the weeklies with you see like polarizing results a good amount.
Yeah, there's a lot of fluctuation going on who wins.
Yeah,
that's why it's a great watch too. You're just never like, oh yeah, this person's gonna win. You're like, oh shit, who's gonna win?
Oh snap! Speaking of house, I see Devin in the chat right now. Mr. 2000.
Mars the planet. Too good.
That's a good one.
That's House of 3000.
Too good, man. Yeah, great stream. If you guys are unfamiliar, you should make yourself familiar. You can catch it every Wednesday.
And Xenosaga is this Saturday.
Yeah, that's you know what? I do have an advertisement for that ready to go, but do we want to jump to that? I guess so. We're kind of towards the end here. We talked about Bears, we talked about Xeno, we talked about well, I mean, we actually did not hit Spectrum yet. How about we do that and then we could kind of move on to some ads. Right. There's not many.
Good idea.
But so yeah, yesterday was Spectrum Smash 56. Won first place by none other than Shoyo James.
Boo.
Because
after a game 5 grand finals with Great Gonzalez's Bayonetta.
Yeah.
Boo.
So what's up with Gonz's Bayo? Is that like is he gonna just main Bayo or like?
No, he's good at flipping a coin because like one game like the coin will be heads. Like, oh, that means I get 2 carries off the top, and then the tails will be like, oh, I thought I had my fourth jump and I just die.
I've definitely seen those games where like he's just all stocks are taken by him.
Yeah, like, no, that was I played in Winter Assemblies with my Diddy, and that's pretty much like he literally did that. Like, just like thought he had like 5 or 6 jumps or something was off stage, and he'd be like, oh no.
Oh no!
Third place. Me. Hello.
Good job.
Yeah, thanks. And then fourth place, we mentioned before, Delta.
I'm actually gonna look for it. You were doing. I feel like you almost like totally chumped Gons. Was that in losers finals? I believe you got him with like a bomb dare.
No, I got him with banana dare as Diddy, but then he babbed within the dare.
Oh, it was Diddy.
No.
Yeah, and then I have now landed banana dare in bracket, and I'm like yes, and then he babbed within it, and I'm like, well, like I'll just take the third place money. Like I'm like that demoralized me.
The second I can like imagine you doing that at the Curb Your Enthusiasm music just starts playing.
Man.
But yeah, like we mentioned, Delta got 4th. 5th was Law and Dark Matter, and 7th was Badges and Mr. T.O. LOF Blue.
Yes, Mr. T.O. I'm trying to see who did he get to play this week.
He lost to Delta in winners, and then he played Insane, Boosk, which was a game 3 set, and then 2 Old Christmas, and then lost to Dark Matter.
Losing the Dark Matter, man. That's actually, I think that might be a small bane of Blue's existence because I believe he's running the Dark Matter in his own brackets several times, and I don't think he has been triumphant many.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the thing about Blue, man. Like, whenever he decides to like care and enter something, like he definitely still has the wherewithal to get it done. Because people like, I mean, the Arcadian didn't forget, but Blue was once ranked in the region.
Yeah, man, he was ranked for a long time. He was even on like that when everyone was on the rankings, like all the people that people know outside of New Jersey.
If I recall, the ranking, the highest ranking he was on, the top 5 was like. Pretty sure it was like Nairo.
Zero and Nairo.
Nairo, Tweak. Nairo, I don't know what the exact order. Nairo, Tweak, Salem, Angel, and False were on it, I'm pretty sure. And then 6th was Blue. And then 7th was James. Because that was the season he actually got a win on Nairo.
Yep. Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Feels good, man.
But, yeah.
Feels real good.
But yeah, it's funny. He had, like, I remember he originated as like I don't know if he originated as a Sonic main, but like that's when I first like I'm pretty sure. But then and then he transfers as a Charizard, and then he went into phase. I remember he was like, you know what, I'm gonna play some Jigglypuff. I think he played some Puff for a bit, and then he just stuck with like, and then he just picked up Mewtwo.
I actually remember a time, and this is this is really early in MHG, back when Yestercades used to be a thing. And
boy.
Yeah, right. And I remember Blue coming one tournament and just using literally every Pokemon on the roster, like in consecutive games. I'm pretty sure he started with Charizard, then he played Jigglypuff, then he was playing like Mewtwo, and then he was playing like, I think he played Lucario, and like he literally everyone on the roster. And I was like, what is this? Successfully, I'll add.
We take those.
But yeah, man. So with that's essentially the locals this past week. You'll see the new week, I guess, for our. I'm thinking we'll probably stick Tuesday with this podcast. So I guess for our purposes,
there was also the break, but that was just Gon's winning.
Yeah, that's kind of the break now. I'm gonna hold off on the break until it starts seeing more people.
Yeah, definitely.
The break is just Gon's withdrawing money from his bank account.
That's like when in Earthbound, when you go to like the ATM and your dad just sends you money. That's the break is actually just Gon's dad, and it just gives him money.
I'm gonna need fan art of that.
Make sure to include that anime car that's always parked outside.
That's an amazing car.
It really is. Or it's a terrible car, whichever way you look at it.
It's both. That's probably more fitting.
But okay, so moving on, at least for MHG, you'll see the highlight is now on the bottom right for all these scrolling advertisements, but I do have a couple ads. One which is actually none other than Xenosaga, which is August 18th. That is this weekend. That's on Saturday.
Yes.
And, if you're in this area, the Tri-State area, New Jersey, New York, whatever, make sure you head over there, man. You're always in for a good presentation with House. It's always a fun event, always good energy.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, man.
And then outside of House, we're moving on to some MHG stuff. These are the next Platinum Star events, and we are going to be hitting that first week of the month now. Once again, we were doing this all last year, where we were every first Saturday of the month, and we're trying to hit that again, starting off with the Starcadian on September 1st. Yes. So if you did miss the PR and you're looking to show that you should be on the PR, this is a good one for you to go to, even just for a good placing. And then the next traditional Platinum Star will be the following month, that first Saturday, which is going to be October 6th. And we're going to try out some rivals and some Slap City and see how it goes. I know everyone kind of enjoys Slap City around here. I'm a big fan personally of Rivals. I haven't played it a lot, but I really like the art style. I'm noticing the kind of community it's starting to draw, and I don't know, it seems cool to me. So, I played Slap City for the first time this weekend, and the way I described it on Twitter the next day is how I feel when I would fall asleep at night after eating too many donuts. I saw that tweet. That's pretty good.
I was like, you know what? It was so stupid, and I couldn't understand why I was smiling so much, but it was so much fun, and I want to play more, but I don't.
I believe Goda had described it to me as basically Smash 4 on some melee drugs.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, which I can see. I've played it a couple times. I've played it a handful of times. I had fun. I mean, I really enjoy using Jenny Fox so far. She's a cool character. I know the characters.
I like the big duck guy.
Dude, the fish boujin.
Yeah. He looks so
Dude, his down smash is him falling backwards. That's so amazing.
I love that so much.
And it seems like his forward smash, you just spam it against someone who doesn't play, and you're just gonna take their stock at 20 every time. I mean, maybe not 20, but in either case,
close enough.
Let's see what else. I guess so. Yeah, you guys have been in SmashCon. That was sort of the big focus this past week as far as Smash stuff goes. In my mind, I'm pretty sure it was the best send off that Smash 4 is going to get at this point. I would say that's probably the peak of Smash 4 now. If you not counting all of the past things, of course, but this is probably going to be the last notable Smash 4 event, I would think. I mean, you still have Shine. That's still going to be good. But I mean, I don't know, man. SmashCon had a lot of eyes on it this weekend.
Yeah, I was going to say I think you're going to see the bigger drop off with the fall tournaments. I think Big House will still get a draw because of Legacy. EX will still get a draw because they're just throwing money at the Smash community. But I think we're probably gonna see a look at what esports was like 5 or 6 years ago, where there's maybe 2 big tournaments like near the end of the year, and then everything just kind of like dies down a little bit. But
we'll see. It's usually the summer is always the busiest time, anyways, as far as Smash event goes.
Right, yeah.
And SmashCon sort of being at the end of summer here, and Shine sort of being at the more towards the beginning of fall when a lot of people heading back to school or what have you. But in either case, yeah, I was kind of I was sort of put back. I was watching the stream and I see like the VG Bootcamp stream. I think it was pushing like good 30,000-40,000 viewers at any given time, and then they had their, it was pretty impressive. And then I would check out their second stream, which is VG Bootcamp 2, which had like another 12, and then I think it was Smash Studios with probably a good 10 to 15 at any point, and I was just like, wow, where are all these people coming from?
Yeah. Who are you people?
The viewership throughout the week, it seems like it kind of carried off from Evo.
For sure.
Like that's where like we saw like we like had like big like eye openers, like, oh dang, like these views are wild, especially for like Melee. But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, like me and Chris were not at SmashCon, and Hungry and Koopa were. But I couldn't watch much of SmashCon because I was working the whole weekend. But it was one little gripe I had. It was like before the tournament started, and I don't know if they like changed it on the fly, but it didn't seem like they intended on streaming like round 1 singles pools at all.
I am going to talk about that, but you guys can go first.
They did at day 2, but none of day 1 was streamed at all. But most of round 1 pools was not streamed.
Yeah, but they streamed like round 1 like doubles like pools and stuff, which I just thought was a little interesting.
Well, I think they had some panels there, I believe. I think I tuned in and I saw some of that. Essentially, they had some panels with what was it? I think some things in terms of like playing better and getting control of your nerves and stress, which I actually think is kind of neat. But I will say I did tune into the panels. I wasn't necessarily drawn into them immediately. I think it was more of a surprise to not see round 1 pools. I mean, I don't really think it affected anything overall, but I don't think it was bad to try something new. But
right,
and
yeah.
Also, but speaking of the panels, the biggest like low panel was from the Rivals of Aether panel, which they actually released their final character.
Oh my god, I'm actually very excited about this. I'm gonna go ahead and get that trailer going right now. Just as we're talking about it.
But yes, if you may or may not know the final character for Rivals, I'm sure you do know about it. It was blown up on Smash Twitter, but the final character is Shovel Knight, which I'm sure surprised a good amount of people.
I was shocked.
Dude, well, I mean, people just were talking they wanted him in Smash, and then all of a sudden you see him actually get released. I mean, not in Smash, but in another platform fighter, and that's pretty exciting for anyone who was looking for him in that forum.
I didn't know it was going to be, obviously I didn't know it was going to be Shovel Knight, but me thinking it was, like, they were like, oh, this is the final character. I was thinking, okay, it couldn't be, like, a character that no one, like a character they made up, because, like, it wouldn't be as, like, hype as a final character reveal, but...
Yeah, exactly.
They definitely did it right by having Shovel Knight, and just shout outs in general to, like, the Yacht Club, I believe it's called Yacht Club.
Yeah, Yacht Club.
So yeah, the creator of Shovel Knight, and I'm glad they're getting like all this like traction towards them.
It's really well deserved, man. That game's pretty great. If you haven't played it, I really recommend it. And
I played like part of it, but I definitely need to like continue it.
Definitely get back to it. It's worth a full playthrough, and then they have some of their DLC. But if you check out the trailer that's on the screen now, he is really true to form in terms of his movesets and even just his overall aesthetic. It's kind of incredible. Yep. It looks like you're playing the game.
Yeah, he's similar to like that Slap City character that like uses money to like buy like things to use.
Yeah, the hot dog guy.
Yeah, that's the hot dog guy.
Business casual.
Oh yeah, that's yes.
But nonetheless, they definitely did it right, and Rivals of Aether didn't really. I would say, like, granted, I personally am not interested in taking the game seriously, but they did a really good job at it, I must say.
Yeah, I feel like as the biggest Shovel Knight shill on the panel, because I bought this game 4 different times.
Oh god!
Nice! It's that game for you,
dude. It's so much fun. Like I haven't gotten lost in a platformer like I've gotten lost in Shovel Knight, and I was floored to see, like, you know, an indie game character get represented in Smash, and I'm sure the people at at Yacht Club had the same feeling. But to have their character like fully realized and like true to form, like in a platform fighter like Rivals, and there were a couple of setups at the tournament that had Shovel Knight on it. I didn't get to play him, but one of our friends did, and he said that he was a lot of fun. And I saw ML ask in the chat what the jewels do. So basically, what happens is with Shovel Knight is when you hit somebody, money falls out of them. And what you do with that money is your taunt actually opens up the shop, and then you can use that money to like upgrade your gear.
Wow.
And it's so he's like he looks like a very technical character, and like obviously like he's using a lot of the moves. Shovel Knight, like he has the gauntlet move. He uses the anchor, the fishing rod to like catch fish right there, which is just so like weird, and like it definitely looks like he's gonna be a very like I'm trying to find a word to find. He's definitely a very like high ceiling. Yeah, pretty much.
I'll be honest. I mean, I'm looking at the trailer right now, and I'm seeing how the money system works. I'm guessing you do that obviously mid-game as you're playing. It almost is like it's like Monado arts. I feel like with money.
Yeah, exactly.
You're trying to do things on the fly as you're also, doing your normal neutral. It looks really cool.
Yeah, it's essentially just armor upgrades for the most part, and like a couple of your specials change.
Right, but yeah, shout out to that.
Yeah, this is gonna be the character that drives me to play Rock. I shield for Shovel Knight so hard in Smash, and now I can just like, okay, I'll just play Shovel Knight in Rivals. And I played Rivals a lot this weekend, a little bit with Prime actually, who's Sync's brother. So shout out to him. And the game's fun. It's very beginner friendly for a lot of the tech heavy stuff, which I greatly appreciate. So this is definitely something I find myself like playing a lot more of as I get free time. But yeah, that was definitely really cool. One of the better panels that I got to like witness live.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, let's move on from some of the outside stuff to the tournament itself.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have Hungry talk about his whole SmashCon experience first because I got some thoughts I gotta get off my brain. So I'm gonna have Hungry go first.
It was kind of interesting just to have like the first day there was a lot of brackets to be played. Like I had 10 a.m. doubles, and then I had 12 p.m. singles, and then I had 2 p.m. top 32 doubles. So like I was playing for like 6 straight hours, and like by the end of it was like 3 o'clock like by the time everything was over, like on my first day, and I was just exhausted. But for me personally as well, I'm glad that I made it out. Both pools in singles and doubles, and it was kind of like personally the TOing wasn't like as good as last year's. I don't know, like they didn't have the right like volunteers or something, but for next year I hope they really improve on that. It was kind of, to put it lightly, it was fucking horrible.
Oh no.
You have issues with your pool like personally, or
it was just the way it was ran? And I talked to a few other people that were just like, yeah, the TOs don't give a fuck, they're just taking forever.
Yeah, my pool captain for my pool had never run. So me and another guy in the pool had to show him how to like use paper brackets. And I was like, oh sweet God, I'm not gonna get out of here for like another 2 hours. But yeah, so my experience was it was a lot of good, and the highs were great, and the lows I experienced were pretty shitty, to like put it put it lightly. Yeah, to put it bluntly. I will say that I'll start with the positives. The event itself is like, if you can only go to one tournament a year, the one you want to go to is SmashCon, because there's just so much to do. The vendors this year were I wouldn't put them on par as last year, but they had a lot more quality like vendors and stuff. I bought way too much shit, like I always do when I go to events. It's fine. So that aspect of the con was fun. The panels were, still good. I had a lot of orchestra, quartets and stuff like that, which the one year I commentated in SmashCon it was very, very, it was actually really distracting to commentate when there's a live orchestra playing in your headset. That's definitely very annoying. Like, it's kind of, I was just like trying to comment on someone's like nice read from the ledge, and then there's the woodwind section just comes out of nowhere. So it's spooky, but that aspect of it was fun. Outside of my pool being ran like crap was one thing, but I did better than I projected, so fuck everybody.
Nice.
Yeah, I went 3-2, not 2-2. Made 2 kids really fucking mad, and it was.
Did you time anyone out?
No, but I rage killed this kid twice with back air, and he was not happy about it. So I will say the same problems that I had this year with SmashCon are the same ones that I had last year, which is there's still not enough setups to play on. And it's really, really hard to try to find places to set up because, and we'll talk about it later, the subject of money match farming came up, and it made for a great series of memes throughout the weekend, which we can talk about a little bit later. But that was still a huge problem. There still isn't enough setups, at least on the Wii U side of things, there wasn't. And what you guys brought up earlier with so when I sent in, I'm just going to open up the curtain a little bit because the event's over now. When I got my email back from SmashCon about commentary, they informed me that none of round 1 pools are being streamed. So, which is fine because I know MDVA does that a lot with their bigger events. I've been to enough glitches as Xanadus to know that round 1 pools usually don't get streamed. So that was fine with me. But then the thing that bugged me is that when exactly what you guys talked about, when I showed up on Saturday and they're streaming round 1 pools, and then they have people that weren't on the commentary roster that are commentating. And that part of me, that kind of like bugged me because the same thing happened last year. And I know I might sound like a hypocrite because I benefited from it last year. But I feel like last year was more of like a logistical mistake because, the secondary stream wasn't informed that they were streaming Wii U until like 2 days before the event. So they didn't, or like they weren't informed they weren't informed that they were streaming Wii U or like some other game. I don't remember what happened exactly, but the fact that the same situation happened twice, and I said to myself, I was like, I'm not going to do it if they ask me to do it. But then another commentator asked me, it's like, hey, like I got to go do this because something overlapped, and they're like, oh, do you mind stepping in for me? And then I went to step in, and then one of the streamers grabbed someone that, again, had no business being on the mic in the first place. When I was like, I was asked, I was doing it out of a favor, and they did it out of like, just for some recognition, which is fine. Like, again, I'm not like terribly upset about it, but it's one of those things where it's like the fact that this happened for a second straight year is like incredibly disappointing.
Oh yeah, now it's a trend.
Yeah, because like you could have totally just hired like 3 or 4 more casters.
So this is more than that. Interesting part about it, and I think this has more to do with the economics or lack thereof Smash scene than it does anything else. It's kind of just the way things have run to date, and I could even tell you on a local level, because this is something that drives me nuts, is most of these events they run off of volunteers, and when something goes wrong, it's sort of the volunteers' fault, but then it's like, well, they're volunteers, so what do you really expect? So there's a lot of things that are kind of important, but don't necessarily get any kind of like cash allocation to it. So you can't really expect any kind of real degree of what's the word I'm looking for, like quality control. So then you have these kinds of things happen, and it raises a lot of questions of how this could be sustainable moving forward. Like, where does all the money from the event go to? Like, why not just hire on a couple really good tournament organizers or whatever, especially when you have an event with like thousands of entrants? It's kind of something, it's sort of like the next step.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it was just, it just kind of bugged me. Like, I wasn't, I'd already like accepted the fact that I wasn't going to commentate anyway, but it's just one of those things, just like the fact that this happened for a second straight year is incredibly disappointing. Yeah. And like, it's just, again, water under the bridge. I'm not gonna like, live or die at the hands of SmashCon. I still had a great time at the event. It's still one of the best Wii U events that you can go to. The top 8 was great. Getting to see people that I don't get to see very often is great.
Yeah.
Like the lack of service in the actual convention center was kind of frustrating. But
well,
other than that,
this tournament did have it was a pretty good price tag, and there's reasons for that because you do have all the exposure to all the unique Smash related things in the panels. But what was the venue? 85?
I mean, I know at site it was like $100, and then like
Yeah.
I'm not sure when it did, at what points it did raise, but I know at like towards the end it was like $85, $90, which is
pretty sure I paid $100 for venue.
Yeah, because also like you see it as like it's not only 3 days. There's stuff on Thursday. Granted, it's not bracket stuff, but it's open on Thursday as well.
Yep.
But,
So for the average tournament goer, I mean, I guess to be honest with you, any kind of convention, $100 is kind of whatever. I mean, it's a lot of money, traditionally speaking, for like the demographic that Smash appeals to. I'm not going to pretend it's not, but
right.
Yeah, I guess part of me wants to say, it does take that kind of price tag to make these events even possible. But it would be nice to see some of that money getting invested a little bit more directly into what's making it work, I suppose. But it is really difficult to sort of talk about these things without knowing all the details of tournament costs and all that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like sit here and sound like that I like know how to run. Talking about I'm just speaking from my own experience. Like I still had a good time, but personally for me, like it's really hard being a spectator because I'm so used to like working at an event, and there was multiple times where I'm just kind of like because I had my doubles pool at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then I had my singles pool immediately after that. So by like 1:30, 2 o'clock, I was done already, and I was there's multiple times where I'm walking around a convention center. I'm just like, man, I'm bored. Like, I felt so naked, like not like having no responsibilities to do. So I just kind of like wandered around a convention center and, like I said, bought way too much stuff. But it was a lot of cool stuff, so I'm not going to be mad about it.
I mean, the issue of like being bored, it's like for me was again not enough setups. Like, I personally, I don't mind doing money matches. I'd rather do friendlies, but I will do money matches. If someone asks me, I'm gonna say yes. But I couldn't even do that because there was like lines and lines of people waiting to money match. I'm like, I can't even money match anymore. Like,
so
I gotta get the right place at the right time.
Mm-hmm. See, like, so from what I know, like, I'm not sure how like known this is, but I'm pretty sure it's just that obviously gaming generations, they're the main people that bring setups and stuff to these majors that you'll see. Which shout outs to them, by the way. They have helped out majors and bigger events all around a lot. But yeah, they pretty much like usually bring like 64 setups, I'm pretty sure. And then from what I know, from at least what it seemed like from SmashCon last year, it's just people had extra setups and they set up in a different section. But it's just like that amount of setups is good for like a Shine and like Shine or CEO or Smash and Splash. But SmashCon has like double those entrants. So
yeah.
Finish your
thought, because I was going to just piggyback off.
But yeah, no, I definitely just feel that they need what I see it for majors is that I feel like you would at least need to have 10%, like from the amount of entrants in the tournament. I feel like you need 10% at least of that in setups. So like if you have like 600 entrants, have at least 60 setups.
Right.
That's just me.
Yeah, I was gonna say like because I went to SmashCon and Shine last year also, and it felt like I can't speak for entrance wise, but it just felt like there was more setups at Shine than there was at SmashCon. It just felt weird. Like I remember myself playing way more friendlies and having less of a hassle finding setups at Shine than I did at SmashCon, which is strange.
Yeah, and even me at Smash and Splash, like even there was still like 500 something people, I believe, but like there were like there was rows and rows and rows of setups, and there were just points in the middle of the day where there was just open setups just around. Like I would be like, hey, I want to play, and then like I'd meet up with a guy, like, oh, there's like 3 setups right over there. So
how many people were at Smash and Splash? How many entrants for Wii U? Does anyone recall?
Give me 5 seconds. I will have an answer for you.
Yeah, I'm just curious because like I'm looking and I'm seeing
probably maybe between 400 and 500 around.
400 and 500.
Yeah. Hold on. And oh wait, actually more than that. Oh well 527.
527. Yeah, it's interesting, man. I do wonder if this is going to be an issue that is a non-issue in the future with the Switch, just because it is so portable and everyone will have it, easily able to bring. But I mean, for an event like this, it's tough, man. This is like a weird time because like there's just the stock of Wii U's and everything just not there. Not that I'm saying that's an excuse for not having enough setups for a large population, but it's. Like, it's definitely not, but it's interesting, to say the least, because I would say most of these large tournaments run from, say, like Gaming Generations or whoever else who essentially will bring all the setups, but, you know, those guys have a finite amount of setups as well.
Yeah.
So the audience can grow, and the amount of setups does not, and then what happens is you got lines.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Like I said, I still had a great time regardless.
Yeah, the event itself, I feel like SmashCon tends to keep that trend of it just being like wacky results wise, like
Right.
like literally last year and this year, the Buzz got 33rd both times.
Yeah, I'm also looking at some of the other results. Like Light got 97th.
Yeah,
and, like just looking through this 33rd. Like Noto got 33rd. Like Easton got 33rd. Like a lot of people got like swamped this tournament.
There were a good amount of upsets. Like, to name a few off the top, we got Joe J, the Diddy from upstate New York / Maryland. I'm pretty sure he goes to school with one. I'm not sure, but
yes.
he beat Light in winners finals of his pool. You have the Buzz losing to Geist Bayonetta from Ohio.
Yes.
Who is one of those other one of those battles that have been on the rise significantly, like especially recently. He actually took a regional in his I believe it was in his state, but double eliminated fatality.
Yeah.
Who has definitely been known to put in some work against Bayo. So it was just Mars also getting 33rd, losing to Anti and Sinji.
Yeah, from what I understand, from people that watched Sinji set with Mars, Sinji was actually like playing chicken with Zero Suit Sandwich, which was Zero Suit Sandwich. Excuse me, God. I'm drunk, but
Zero Suit Sandwich Deluxe, please. Some Monterey.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, it's people that were watching his set with Mars. He was basically just playing chicken, where he's just Z dropping the bell and just like. He's like, I want you to grab me, and if you fuck up, you're gonna die. But if I fuck up, I'm gonna die.
Well, I was talking to Sinji personally. Basically, what he said was, so I knew he wasn't gonna try to grab me because I just kept the bell in my hand the entire time. If he missed the grab, he was dead, and that lasted for 2.5 minutes.
Oh boy!
He ended up like just like a few seconds shy of timing him out.
Yeah,
it was.
It really do be that way sometimes.
I know he like struggled with Zero Suit a good amount, and I'm glad he was able to break through that curse. But yeah, shout out to that. But also, I think one of the biggest like eye openers and like the biggest woes of this weekend was Magi Magi. Which
seriously.
Before this weekend, a lot of people didn't know, but pretty much. Like I've known of Magi Magi for a while now. I like to follow multiple scenes, especially Europe. He's from Ireland. Pretty sure he is the best player in Ireland. I'm pretty sure either with at least in the top 12, at least in the top 15 rankings in all of Europe. I want to say maybe 12 to 10.
That's crazy.
He's a very, very solid Mewtwo player, and you definitely saw that this weekend. He beat Captain Zach. I like Eon, but he annihilated Eon. He literally and I kind of saw that coming, which I actually made some money off that. So because Magi has Scarfelt, another European Fox player who he plays with. I'm pretty sure a decent amount, and who Scarfelt like is a very like grindy person when it comes to studying this game, and he's definitely put in the work himself.
He's definitely the tech guy for Fox.
Definitely a tech guy for Fox. He's put out a bunch of videos. He actually got 49th at this tournament too, so shout out to him. But yeah, Magi eviscerated Eon, and then almost reversed 3-0 Ralphie, who's another name that put in work this weekend, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yeah. Before we get to Ralphie, I'm gonna give a shout out to. I guess we can all just kind of go around the panel and give a shout out to like our performers of the tournament. I'm gonna talk about Sunito for a second because
that's another name that went off.
Yeah, so he was in my pool, and me and him and this other guy talked about pool, and I was way too many Sonics, and it was really funny. But yeah, dude, he had like a really, really strong bracket. His set against Geist that was on stream was probably my favorite set of the tournament, just because of how wacky it was.
I need to see that set because I have not seen that yet.
Yeah, so basically, just to kind of like sum up the highlights, I think it's like Sunito was winning. I think he lost the first game. The second game, he back throws Geist at like 80 as Town and City's transitioning, so he like explodes and dies. And in the last game, Sonito was pretty much dead. Like Geist had rage and hit him with all he had to do was just do up B fair, and he was dead. But I think what happened is he hesitated for a split second, and then Sonito was able to like spring out of whatever he was doing, and then by that time Geist had like used up all his resources and just kind of like fell to his death like a limp noodle. So that was a really fun set. But Sonito getting all the way to 9th, and I definitely think he's the one that benefited the most from the buzz falling early into losers.
100%, yeah.
Because he played really well and like beat a lot of good players, but he got no PGR win, which is like kind of insane.
Because like not only did he avoid the buzz, he also avoided Larry, because Larry was sent to losers by Mute Ace, Southern Florida Peach / Bayonetta.
Yeah, Mute Ace had a really good tournament too. Sonito actually had to beat him. The other thing that I think is impressive about what Sonito did is that he's like going through this bracket run, and he's playing a lot of Sonic's really bad matchups. Like I think he probably might be the best Sonic against Bayonetta that I've seen. Like he just made his matchup look like far more winnable than it actually was.
Right.
Like this is the exchange.
Yeah, it's like on.
Yeah, I was saying this is the exchange I was talking about like off stream. Yep, everyone's gonna see it right now.
And also, he also took Cosmos to Game 5 and was really close. From what I know, I don't know how close Game 5 was because I haven't seen it, but it did go to Game 5, which
it was kind of a wash, to be honest.
Okay, but we're not going to talk about that. So
yeah.
So what do you guys think about this top 8 though in general? I mean, I noticed we hit our quota of 4 Bayonettas minimum in top 8. And then outside of that, I mean, we got a Corin, which I guess is kind of something, despite being DLC. You have like I didn't realize Tweak used Diddy much.
He
only
used
versus
Diddy
Samsora.
And loses fine, yeah. But Samsora was the main thing of obviously of the MKLeo winning.
Yeah.
No, MKLeo won. Going like a lot of Marth, so. Well, I think decent amount in the earlier rounds.
I think he only went Marth versus Samsora.
I thought he went in like one of the earlier matches.
I don't think he
did. Void and Nairo, he went Cloud and Bayo.
All right, well, thank you, Hungry, for that. No, but Samsora double eliminating Tweak, in what is known to be a difficult matchup, Peach Cloud.
Thank you.
And it was an intense last hit. Game 5, and he like brought it back from being down a bit. But yeah, shout out to Samsora.
Yeah,
one of my favorite players to watch in general.
No, agreed. And I think like the thing that always sucks for Sam is that he's probably the top player that gets gate kept by everybody else the most. Like he's constantly getting like at least a lot of the bigger events, he gets a lot of 5th place, a lot of 7th place, where he just kind of runs into like Nairo or
MKLeo,
or MKLeo or somebody like really, really good. And not to like, put anything that Samsora does into like, just like to like downplay it, but this is a form. And the top 8 itself was really interesting. I'm not gonna lie, a part of my heart just kind of fell out of it when Nairo got eliminated. Like it was just because it's hard to 3-peat in anything, man. Like unless you're like the early 2000s New England Patriots, it's impossible to 3-peat in any like fashion.
I mean, despite the 3-peat not happening, I will say, at least I know Nairo's had a couple rough outings in some of the bigger tournaments he's gone to in the past month or so, or the past couple months. So I mean, it is nice to see him at least in top 8 and beating some of the people he beat.
He still won Brawl. That's all that matters.
Yes, and also, Kyle, don't lie to yourself. You were upset because he lost to Corn.
Oh yeah.
No, but shout out to Cosmos.
Yeah, I think Riz and you said it the best on Twitter, but I think they were like Glenn's worst nightmare is Nairo losing to Corrin, and then you added the Corrin switches to Meta Knight for the last game.
Definitely. But is this Cosmos' first top 8 as PG? Like, I know he got.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. You might be right.
Yeah. Well, Evo. No, wait. What am I saying? He was introduced as PG right before Evo, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So it definitely is. But yeah, shout out to him. He got 4th.
He had a good losers run too. Wadi. He beat Sonito, Larry Lurd, obviously Nairo.
He had Sinji before then. Sinji, Wadi, Sonito, Larry, Nairo. and then had to lose to his former housemate, his housemate Tweak.
Yep. I'm actually kind of looking through this bracket losers just to get himself all the way to 7th.
You cut off a little bit there.
No, I was gonna say like Larry had a really strong losers run trying to get to get to 7th place.
That sounds like Larry.
No, but you have to think about it, as a top player perspective. He got upsetted by Mudace, and then his first match immediately in losers was the Buzz.
Feels bad.
But
feels really bad.
From what I know, he was able to take it over the Buzz solidly, and then continue his run in losers pretty unscathed outside of his set with Ralphie.
That broke my heart, man.
That was my lord. Yeah.
Like Ralphie said it the best himself on Twitter, but he's gonna be haunted by that forwarder going through his side B for a while. But again, Ralphie, we've been alluding to it all night. He had one hell of a weekend, man.
Oh yeah.
If Ralphie didn't already have like a breakout performance yet, because I think Ralphie's like relatively known for like a younger player, but he's still like, this was a huge coming out for him. He beat Ally, he beat Magi.
He seems to just go off when he's an MDVA or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he beat Ally. Joe J also, who again hit to his own. Yeah, he got 33rd. He almost beat Captain Zach in losers too.
Yeah. And I believe Joe J also got the mom.
The what?
The mom power up.
Oh yeah.
Like his mom was watching him play, and that's like adorable.
Shout outs to the mothers of Smash that support their children.
Yeah. Shout outs to the dads like Biddy.
Yeah, honestly, what I mean, I've raised a good amount of players in my days, but nonetheless, there was one of the interesting things I just remembered from top 32 was Icy Mist 3-0ing Elegant.
That set was brutal, man.
Well, that's a bad matchup for Luigi. Samus bodies Luigi.
Yeah, true. But that down air on the edge of Lila.
Yeah, like you finished what you were saying.
So, granted, like I don't even know if that was fully a Lilat, but I kind of like people were like, oh, like Elegant, like that dare shouldn't have killed, but like you didn't need to be leaning off the edge in that scenario, and it was just like something that was like bound at like I saw Icy Mist like throwing out the dare, and like I never even seen anything like that, but I'm like, yeah, that dare's gonna kill him, and it did. So
yeah, it's kind of cool to see Ice Mist again. She kind of been like absent for a while.
Yeah, I know she had surgeries recently. Actually,
okay.
She has like some health issues. Granted, I'm not gonna try to say what it is, but I don't fully know. But I know I know even like 3 weeks ago or something, she was like in the hospital, like recovering and stuff, and then she just comes in and goes ham.
It's great to see she still got it because Samus is cool to watch.
I believe she got eliminated by SoCal. I think she lost to Void and Larry. So
yeah, I believe so.
But but Void was like a game 3 set, and then like
she took a game off Larry. So that's
and that's a hard match for Samus.
Fox it's
really hard for Samus.
And in her set against Elegant, like I can just kind of tell just by like watching Elegant's body language that he just like wasn't very comfortable or like kind of in it, because that game 3 he got washed. He got hit by a charge shot, and then the charge shot hit him into a missile, and he died. I think it was like the same scenario where she shot like this weak side B, which forced him to air dodge, and then frame trap that with the charge shot. Yeah, I think that's the one I was talking about, because combo. The charge shot, then he comboed into the missile, and I was like,
she did that, and it didn't kill. And then he came back, and she did it again, and then it killed.
Samus is so cool, man. But
I like watching good Samus. So,
don't we all?
Yeah.
I will say the one comment about top 8, and just this goes across all games, because I didn't watch any of the Melee top 8. I was on the middle of the same highway that's been under construction in Virginia for the last 4 years. But the one thing that kind of like bugged me was the commentary coming through the intercoms. because like
that's how it was.
Yeah, so they had the at least for the main stage they had the commentary. The commentary was coming through the loudspeakers in the convention center, and as a commentator, I don't like it when the players can hear my commentary, because I feel like at that point I can't like speak like as freely as I'd like to, because I feel like I'd have to like somebody might hear something and then like it'll like blow up in my face or something.
Yeah, that doesn't really sound optimal, honestly.
Yeah,
no,
and even like if it was me playing on the stage and hearing that, like I'm not sure, because like they'd be saying stuff like, oh, maybe Tweak will think blah blah blah, or like it'll just give ideas and stuff. That's just and it was a TriCast at that, so that's just more voice.
I mean that was fine. It was funny getting to listen to the TriCast because the Blast Zone always does a good job. Like I think Cody made a reference to like the Disney Vault, and it just made me laugh really loud, which is just like super funny. But again, like and he even brought it up himself while he was commentating. He's like, "Yo, man, they can like hear me. Like what am I gonna do?"
It reminds me of that one like Melee tournament like in 2016. It was one of the last ones PPMD was at. It was like Battle with the Gods.
Yep.
And like they had the commentary so they could hear him, and then you hear Scar be like, "Hey, PPMD, can you hear me?" And you just see PPMD like shake his head like, "Yep."
So
yeah, because like it's one of those things where like you don't want to like force the players on stage to wear headsets, because not everybody's gonna want to do that. But like I definitely feel like it could be distracting to like hear someone critiquing your play, even though that wasn't the case. Like the Blast, like if you're a professional, you're really good at just kind of talking about in-game situations and not like being like, oh, X player should be doing this instead. Like I think the way that the commentators handled it was very, very like professional, but I personally wouldn't do that again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. I mean, either way, I don't know if I mean, I definitely wouldn't want that as like hosting a tournament. I kind of just think it's a little distracting in general, even for the audience. I think it does take a little bit away from being there, sitting there and watching it as a being able to kind of do your own thinking live, you know.
Well, honestly, I never actually heard anything good about it. I've only heard people complain about it, so I don't understand why they continue to even do that.
I think it might be confusion. I mean, I don't know if it's like a technical thing. I mean, I don't know. VG Bootcamp definitely knows what they're doing, but I do wonder if maybe they were having some issues like splitting up the audio or something. Not sure.
Yeah, there is on the Melee stream specifically. It sounds like they were doing like golf commentary, but they're just a bit like very, very quiet talking into the mic. And I was like, I'm not. Weird. Yeah, it's like one of those things where like I feel like a commentator can't fully do his job well if he knows the entire room can hear him.
Well, like, yeah, I mean, you're restricted, but in either case,
like I can't say fuck. It sucks.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely can't. You're 100% on the spot if you do, like in all facets.
But, do it on the side stream. It'll be fine.
Agreed. So the crazy thing is, I don't know. Did any of you guys watch the Smash Masters portion of SmashCon?
I did.
Yeah.
It was interesting, man. All I know is I'm gonna put on the set right now. It was the finals. It was Larry and Mewtwo King, and I think it was literally the entire match of 64.
Oh God.
Was just Mewtwo, like both of them camping. You'll see it pop on a second.
It was like Kirby Dittos.
It goes on for a while, man. And like speaking of like resilient. I just put on the commentary just so you can kind of hear in the background, but like, yeah, I believe it's like Max and like I don't know who else was there, probably D1 and like EE.
Yeah, it was. I think there was a 64 player in that song.
Yeah. Oh, I think it was Dark Horse, if I recall.
Yeah. It was the combination was it was D1, TK, Max, and Dark Horse.
But like, yeah, like I'm not looping this VOD. This is literally what was happening. It was just like it was Mewtwo King jumping and occasionally daring. On the top platform of Dreamland.
I could just tell it's Mewtwo because he's looping and like.
And like, if you look over to the right of your screen, you'll see these guys are both like. It looks like they're focused. Like it really looks that way.
I mean, Larry has that look in like way too many scenarios.
Hold on, I'm gonna fast forward here several minutes. And
he's content to do that forever, and I'm pretty sure Larry just thinks it's funny. Like, he's
that
definitely. Kind of guy.
But he's very good at like not showing that like he finds something funny. Like he can be very like stone face.
No, he did this against Shudat in the round before. So Nairo had to play Larry, and Shudat had to play Mewtwo King. And Larry and Mewtwo King, Larry and Nairo finished all 4 of their games before Mewtwo King and Shudat could finish one set of Brawl.
Oh man,
it was crazy. It was literally insane.
Here's my question: is this good gameplay?
No,
yeah, it's crazy, man. It's like some of these old SNES games, you really see it why it's just not viable, and then why people really do want the changes they want in Ultimate. Like there's a lot of good reasoning for the gripe that you'll hear.
Yeah. Shout outs to Plup for showing up for Smash Mouth, but not showing up for the bracket because I think his flights got delayed or whatever.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, a lot of the from what I heard, because a lot of the top seeds in Melee dipped because Mango DQ'd himself, Leffen got sick and DQ'd himself, and then Plub got bodied by Uber and then had to DQ himself.
Well, Mango DQ'd himself because he lost to a Ice Climbers named Flipsy.
Nice.
In the round of 64, and I guess he just wasn't about it.
Yeah, but also I want to say before you finish your thought, quick shout outs to SmashCon for coming through with the Falco Master 5000.
Oh, that was
I always thought that was really funny. So
I agree. I think that's a nice little touch there.
Yeah,
it's definitely a nice little touch.
But
I mean, I think we've said probably as much as we can about SmashCon.
Well, there's one thing that we kind of left out. Just pointed out for the Melee side. Mewtwo King went in the singles bracket for Melee.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god.
He lost to Hungry Box in winter semis, and then he ended up beating him losers finals, and then went to game 10 with the Armada in grand finals. So it was literally one game away from taking all.
But it had one of the most anticlimactic endings I've seen in a Melee tournament, unfortunately. But yeah, he did go in. I know there were I heard there were some issues from Hungry Box's end outside of the tournament. Because I know when Hungry Box hit up the SmashCon team, it was like, hey, what's the schedule for finals day? And I'm pretty sure they originally told him that Melee top 8 would be first, and then Wii U top 8 would be after.
Yeah, because that's the way it's been the last 3 years.
Exactly, but I guess they decided towards close to the actual date that we'll do Melee. We'll do Wii U top 8 first.
A week before.
Yeah, but they're we'll do Wii U top 8 first, and then Melee, and then the event came, and then Hungry Box went up to them. They're like, oh, we didn't tell him about this, and Hungry Box had his flight for during top 8.
It was at 10 p.m. I think he had to be there.
Yeah, and then of course with that he announced he's full-time working man again. I guess he was not. I don't know what happened since then, but I'm assuming that he missed his flight. He might have made it on time. I'm not sure, but and then if he missed his flight, then he probably would have missed work, and
then all hell breaks loose.
And then it would not be fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's the two big things that came out of social media this tournament was. Hungry Box and Mango expressing how jaded they feel about their respect about the Melee community, which I think happens to a lot of top players in the scene. When you're at the top of your craft for so long, everybody's and their mom's gonna want to see you fail. Regardless how I feel about Hungry Box, personally, I have my problems, but that's a story for another day. It's one of those things where you can't if your two biggest figureheads are coming at you guys jaded and you're continuing to feel fire and stuff like that, it's not a good look. Especially because Melee's kind of on it's a couple straight Melee tournaments where things are kind of things are a little weird. And the other thing coming out of it, which get your cold stares ready if you're listening to the chat, was the money match debate where I believe it was Osiris 179.
Yeah, Falco. Why do you know the number?
Because I'm a weirdo.
I know he's Falco, I believe, but I'm pretty sure he's from Maryland or Virginia, one of the two.
Yeah, one of the two.
He posted about how he felt when Elegant came up to his setup and was like, hey, can we use this for a money match? The guy Osiris was playing was yeah, sure, but Osiris wasn't having it. He gave him that cold stare, and he said no. And ended off with talking about saying fuck top player entitlements.
So you'll see this I actually find this pretty interesting. And I see both sides come out. I see the apologists for the fact that like the setup had to be given up or was supposed to be given up, and then I see the guys like, yeah, fuck that shit. Yeah. And I don't really even know where I stand on it personally. I think this falls back to just running a tournament and scaling it and having enough setups, which is what we kind of started the conversation with.
See, while part of me, to a small degree, understands what Osiris like meant, he worded it and went about it very terribly.
Yeah, I agree.
And could have, if it was just worded a lot better, would not have gotten such a negative. Obviously, ergo,
yeah.
There, but on some anime shit. But yeah, if he went about that differently, I feel like the scenario definitely would have taken a lot different of a turn as opposed to being talked about online. Because, like I said, I do somewhat understand it because, like, some players do feel like that way. And then a weird thing that came out of it was when Hungrybox quoted about it, saying that it's one thing about money matches, but if a top player wants to use it, needs an open setup to practice for a tournament, that you should give it to them to that degree because it's not even top player entitlement, but them doing their job.
Yeah, but that also falls back into the whole argument from last year about like, oh, we need VIP sections with hookers and blow in it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's blackjack. Right?
Well, why not all three? Like,
I mean, I got to be honest with you. I'm not sure why, and I kind of agree with the sentiment where it's like, okay, so X top player gets to because he gets to practice because this is his quote unquote job, whereas me as tournament goer who pays my $100 venue has to give up this venue, or I'm sorry, this setup when like I either just got here or I'm just like enjoying the perks of paying $100 to be here. Like I get it, man, and like I don't know if that like your practice should really be invalidated by someone's professional practice because let's be real. I mean, I know some of these guys do have some sponsors and some of these guys do make enough money per tournament. It's really hard to see any one of them doing it as a job unless you're, say, a Naira who also has a stream behind you and other things. I don't really know if we could say this is anyone's job yet per se. So I'm not sure if I really enjoy that argument.
Yeah. Outside of the top percentile and like, I think in Wii U's case it's a little bit different because I feel like the content production in Wii U is a lot bigger than it is in Melee. But like I feel like outside of like the top. Like the top, like the cream of the crop, like your top seeds, and like a lot of people aren't doing it for jobs, and some people are just being dicks and using it for money matches. Like
for sure,
money match farming is just so annoying when I'm at majors because I'm not going to complain about it, but I will continue to sit in the chair that I walked around for 45 minutes to find, and you will play over my shoulder, and I do not care.
Yeah, right? I mean, and I think that's that. I don't even think there's anything wrong with that mentality in this particular instance.
Like this brings me back to a great story from Shine last year, right? Stake asked Brian if he could play on his setup, and then Brian, without like thinking, he kind of autopiloted to be like, "Who the fuck are you?" And the mistake was like, "Excuse me," and then Brian was like, "Oh shit, my bad. You can use the setup."
I don't know, man. I get it. I
think the moral of the story is I think it was great coming out of this. I'm gonna like it was fantastic. But I think the message is cool. It's just like it's okay to say no, like, or just like protect what's yours. Like if they want to use it for a best of for a quick money match, don't like give up your seats and like your house and your name and everything. Like just know your boundaries and like if you've been hogging a setup for like a couple of hours and maybe get around, walk up for a little bit, but don't like completely roll over and die every time somebody wants to use your setup for a money match.
So you're saying it comes down to common courtesy?
Yeah, I guess. Weird, right?
Huh.
Well, I think the easiest solution and the biggest problem with Smash I've had for 2 years straight is that there's not enough setups.
Yep.
Like if there was enough setups to do money match and play friendlies, then that wouldn't be a problem. But it's not enough setups.
It all comes full circle.
Yeah. So with that full circle, how about we wrap up SmashCon and
can we give everyone give their final thoughts on Smash, starting with Biddy?
Obviously couldn't really view it much from a spectator's perspective, but had a feeling the issues that you guys pointed out before were going to be a thing, such as the round one pools, commentary things, /back setups. But wacky tournament results wise, once again. But really only outside of top 8. The top 8 seemed like to be like the players you would expect to be in there. But watching the matches, entertaining. Sam Sawyer went off. I enjoyed the play all around, and yeah.
All right, who we got next?
Hungry.
I mean, it was fun to play people from different region, and again, I just don't want to be regurgitate like the setups things all over again, but it's a great time regardless. You know, I definitely enjoyed my weekend. Kind of sad, but the non-Nairo three-peat, so I was definitely disappointed. We actually just left as soon as Nairo lost. We're like, oh, time to go home. Yeah. So, other than that, it was a good tournament.
Yeah, I definitely had a good time. It was definitely a little bit frustrating, the couple of instances that I had, but event was a good time. You know, it's always great to see all my friends in one spot and like just get to shoot the shit with everybody. You know, I will continue to go to SmashCon just because it's a great consumer experience on top of being like a really, really good just on top of the tournament still being like really fun to watch. But
who knows what the results the setup situation will be like next year when we're going about with Ultimate.
Less setups. No.
What do you mean no one wants to bring their
I mean, what I'll say about SmashCon, and this is from a viewer perspective, I mean, you got to see a lot of stuff. There were, at one point, like 3 streams, and then that's not including the things for, like, Rivals, and I forget who's streaming Rivals, but, like, the point is there was plenty of stuff to watch. They had the panels, which I thought was kind of unique, maybe a little uninteresting as presented initially, but, like, that, you know, that's what happens when you do the firsts of anything. I do think, like, the top 8 was sort of fitting to cap out Smash 4 here, mostly because it was maybe a little bit predictable. You know, you got to see your 4 Bayonettas, you got to see some more DLC, you got to see Nairo. Kind of what you would expect. And even if you looked at the top 8 results, it almost goes in order of the PGR with a couple numbers switched around. It's almost like as if you knew you could have called the result. Let's see, what else? But yeah, I mean, it was a little bit eye-opening to me to see all the excitement around Ultimate because I was really blown away by the viewership in general. I've never really seen a Smash event have so many viewers because I will say most events that you see are pretty uniform. On a regional scale, you could expect to see anywhere between like 2,000 to like 4,000 or 5,000, and then like when you start to scale up, you start getting close to 10,000. But I mean, this time around, saw
Chris, I think the stream went offline.
Oh, did it? Oh, it is. It's reconnecting. Well, I mean, we're still recording, so whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I wasn't sure if my computer just.
Right. I mean,
everything's still recording. So
yeah, everything's still recording. But no, it's okay. In either case, I'm just gonna hit the button and see if it starts again. But in either case, yeah, I do think that was a little bit eye-opening. There was like nearly 4 times as much viewership around Smash 4 than I think I've ever seen. So I don't know if that's an indication of the new game coming up or if that's mostly just VG Bootcamp's influence or whatever. But kind of cool to see.
True.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's SmashCon recap. And then what else we got? We got the
should we wait to see if we like connect back to the internet?
We got the naming, and yeah, I don't know if this is gonna reconnect. I really would like it to. It's been dropping frames like a lot, but I mean, we could probably run this out. I'm not sure why it's not reconnecting. I don't really want to restart OBS, mostly because
we'll lose the recording or whatever.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna have to merge recordings.
The whole naming thing, I guess, it doesn't have to be like that much of like a.
Yeah, I mean, we could kind of go through it, and if anyone wants to go back and watch the recordings, that's totally cool.
Yeah.
So in either case, I'm going to be making some more, some more channels in the big MHG Discord, which you can find below the stream. And in which case, we're kind of going to open up some stuff some stuff that you guys want to talk about. We'll probably start featuring the Discord chat within these podcasts, so that way we could kind of do a Q&A section that goes beyond Twitch chat. And kind of goes beyond a topic that we massage throughout the week. And I'll be making that this week for sure.
Yeah, definitely something that I want us to do is that, like, we kind of did it briefly with, like, the Hungry Box and the Elegant situation. But I definitely think a What's Trending topic would be good. kind of get everybody's thoughts and feelings on what's going on, because the Smash community seems to have a new problem stuff like every couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, no shortage of things to talk about, and no shortage of opinions to be had. That's for sure. And we all know what you say about opinions, and I'm not going to say it.
Yeah,
but we all know.
They all suck.
Yeah, they all suck. That works.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so we will definitely be doing that. And as far as a name goes, I know Koopa had a pretty cool idea for a name. For me, I'm kind of on board, but I'm also open to see what everyone else thinks here. But I'll let you go ahead and do that.
Yeah, so I came up with the name Unchained for a couple of reasons. One, because the Django Unchained is a great movie, but beside the fact, I think obviously the moniker for MHG is the Master Hand part. And when I think of Master Hand, I think of that one cutscene from Subspace Emissary where he's like literally chained up by Ganondorf, blood comes out of his. So shout outs to the teen rating. But I definitely look at that as be like, yeah, that could be kind of a cool name for a podcast, because this is kind of like our place to be unhinged and like talk and curse and like just kind of like let our feelings out about things that might not.
I'm sorry, I missed that. What was it that you had? Like,
just. What, the name I had?
Yeah.
It was Unchained.
Oh.
Yeah, like MHG Unchained.
Which I actually do think is cool, because the hand is sort of the thing we're going for. And let's be real here. I mean, MHG is, at this point, like, we're pretty well known in New Jersey, because that's where our focus has been. But outside in the larger Smash community, where things aren't necessarily readily apparent for everyone in all regions, we're sort of a smaller entity to date. So I do think that there is a pretty unique opportunity within this podcast to sort of cover some things that you don't usually hear in, I guess we'll call it, the popular Smash media. And all in the same breath, I mean, we're doing quite a bit on our end over here. So it would be cool to just sort of, unchain where we're at and sort of meet everyone else somewhere in the middle here.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sure Hungry will be on board for our Hungry. So
our Hungarian friends.
Our Hungarian friends.
No, but I mean, seriously, if you guys have any input, just let me know, because I don't want to be like the voice of everybody. So
I think I'm putting my vote to our Hungarian friends now.
Well,
Sorry, guys.
We'll discuss that.
Yeah, you know what? That could be the first thing we make in the discussion board. So I'm probably going to do that.
Yeah.
I was going to do it tonight or during the stream, and I might actually do it tonight still. But in light of this this podcast sort of losing connection, I'm just gonna do it probably tomorrow morning.
Yeah. But yeah. So I think the beauty of it is that everybody will be able to listen to this and watch the VOD on YouTube. So hopefully next time the internet decides to cooperate with us and won't crash.
Yeah, I think the major issue was I probably need to turn the bit rate down a bit, and I was gonna change it early in the stream, and I just didn't feel like it. But it looks like it eventually caught up to me, as it would turn out.
Better later than.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we got through the bulk of it, and I think we were kind of winding down anyways. The naming stuff we could kind of come out a little bit stronger with next week, and in addition, something I would like to cover next week is since we are at the beginning of the PR season, maybe talk about what exactly how the PR works in terms of what's weighed more, weeklies, monthlies, all that. Although we kind of have a general idea and we've alluded to it a lot in the past two podcasts, we could probably maybe put that more in a spotlight.
Yeah, and I do know James wanted to talk about perhaps some moderations or some rules. So
yeah,
okay, that sounds good.
Discussions will be had about that.
Well, so, I'm gonna guess that's probably gonna be the focus next week, for sure.
We can also I was gonna say we can also do a quick preview of Shine, and I can't promise it might be next week or the week after, but we may have a special guest joining us to talk about Shine.
Special guests. I like the sounds of that.
Hell yeah.
So a little tease for everyone.
And keep in mind, listening audience here, that we will be looking to feature people on here all the time, and that also means you guys, even if you're a local player or someone making some waves, we want to hear from you. So we'll be doing plenty more stuff where we'll be featuring people, whether it be big names, small names, local names, whatever the case is.
It'll primarily be like a combination of 5 of us, but like, there will be instances where like not everyone Tuesday.
Yeah, not everyone can make it all the time. Sure.
Yeah, so we'll always be looking for fill-ins, obviously, but for the most part, it's going to be some combination of like all 5 or 4 of us, however many of us we can get on a Tuesday. So yeah.
And there are some more announcements coming next week. I mean, I know I mentioned a North Jersey Monthly, but I am still sort of ironing out the details with the venue, and I don't know. It'll probably be sometime September. I would say early-ish September, but you can go ahead and stay posted for that. I will announce it as soon as I can confirm. And that will be run by HQ and streamed by Master Hand.
Yeah.
So plenty to be excited about there, and still kind of on the hunt for something in South Jersey. But between you, me, and everyone here listening, as you watch this later on, I just think that there's a lot of benefit to getting some monthlies as they do way more in North, Central, and South, and then you kind of get, at the very least, the state of New Jersey kind of communicating with one another on like one central forum, while still being able to promote the weeklies that happen currently.
Hell yeah, pimp.
Hell yeah. So I guess that's sort of that's gonna wrap it up. I don't know if any of you guys have any closing remarks or comments or thoughts or anything of that nature.
Hungry steals all the blankets.
I want to know why.
Dude, you literally gave them up.
I want to know why Hungry didn't eliminate James at the Taco Bell when he had the chance.
You didn't get enough retweets. I'm sorry. You gotta play by the rules, boy.
Shout outs to the cute waitress at Denny's. Call me.
Yeah. She was a really good waiter. I'm gonna give her a good tip. I was like, yeah, sure.
I gotta go.
Well, all right, guys. It's been fun. I actually really am enjoying these. I'm looking forward to them getting better, a little bit more engaging, and a little bit more as things grow, like the Ultimate scene, having you guys more involved. So you guys being the guys I'm talking to currently and you guys listening. And
it was a lot of fun.
That'll definitely wrap it up. So, all right, yeah, this was our second podcast. Last week was a PR, and if you missed that, you can go ahead and find that on our YouTube. This will be uploaded shortly after I end it in a minute, and we'll catch you next week. I'm thinking same time, same place.
Sounds good to me.
Probably, yeah.
All righty, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end here, and thanks everyone who was listening and watching.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace.